Hello, folks. Welcome to Scratch the Surface. My name's EJ Scott. Today, my guests are Ethan Sandler and Adrian Wenner. They are good friends and in a writing-producing duo, powerhouse. They've written and produced on a few different shows like Whitney, My Boys, and most currently New Girl, one of my favorite shows. And I've known them for a long time. Adrian is one of my favorite improvisers. I've seen him improvise maybe a couple hundred times. I don't know. Back in the days of when I was going to the improv theater every day and when he was performing more. Ethan, I know a little less well. I've seen him improvise a few times. He's a very good improviser and a very nice guy. Both of them are very nice. Before I get into what we talked about, let me give myself a plug. Check me out on Twitter at EJ Scott, the podcast at EJ Podcast. I have a website, ejscott.com, Instagram, ejscott1106. I have a documentary that was made about me called Running Blind. It's available on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play, digital only right now. But for $2 or $3, you could buy it or rent it, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. It's about when I ran 12 marathons in 12 states in 2012, blindfolded, raising money and awareness for the Choroideremia Research Foundation. Why? Because I have choroideremia and it runs in my family. If I'm saying choroideremia fast, I apologize. Choroideremia is a genetic degenerative eye disease that causes blindness. And my grandfather went blind from it, and I have it, my brother has it, and my two nephews have it. I'm legally blind right now, and so I'm always trying to get the word out about that and try to get some funding and attention to the cause. So go check that out if you can. Thank you very much. Okay, so Adrian and Ethan were kind enough to come over out of their busy lives, and we talk about lots of stuff. Where they are from, how they met in college, how they started working and writing together, how they met their wives. Adrian's wife is the showrunner and producer of Superior Donuts on CBS, and she also did My Boys a few years back. Ethan's wife is actress Kathryn Hahn. She's hilarious and awesome, and we talk about how they met, and we talk about what's it like producing together and writing together and going from show to show and being parents and improvising, and they put up this, what do we call it? It was like not a sketch show exactly, but anyway, it was a performance of a show they did together that I saw like a dozen times, and what it was like to bring that back 10 years later, which I also saw. So we talk about lots of stuff. So without any further ado, from May 23rd, 2017, this is my talk with Adrian Wenner and Ethan Sandler. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey. Hi there.
How's it going?
It's terrific, thank you.
Thank you for coming here. We made it happen.
Finally.
The three of us are here together. Feels good.
It feels
really good.
Overdue.
Feels overdue.
Feels
Well,
right.
what have you guys been busy with?
Luckily, nothing right now.
Oh, really? Is that lucky?
Sort of. Well, we had a couple months to do nothing.
Yeah, so a
which
little
is
break.
nice. Yeah.
Because you guys, we're big New Girl fans here in the house.
Oh, great.
And I was like, hey, that's Adrian and Ethan's name that keeps popping up every week for the last year and a half or whatever it was.
Yeah, we joined on season 4.
Season 4, okay, a couple of years there.
Yeah.
In what capacity did you guys join on? I know you were co-exec producers.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
I mean,
Got the show running?
No,
No,
it's
God, no.
it's we were writers on the show, producers on the show, and a show that's been around that long accumulates co-EPs. So
Okay.
we were 2 of, I don't know, 6 or so.
Nothing special.
They barely knew our names.
Yeah.
I
often pitch stuff that they'd already done.
Did you see the show? Did you see it?
Winner likes to not see the shows before we start.
Blind,
yeah,
you know?
You just can pitch freely then.
Yeah, I don't feel hemmed in by character names and
things that have been done already.
I'd be great on The Simpsons.
I think they'll do anything at this point.
Yeah, I think they actually. I heard a rumor that I don't know if it's true, but someone told me that the line in The Simpsons writers' room is no longer have we done it, but have we done it recently?
How many times have we done it?
Yeah, how many times have we done it?
How long ago did we do that exact?
Which character did that not happen to?
Yeah,
right, exactly. But yeah, it was a very large staff of a lot of people that had been there longer than us. So we just tried to grab an oar and send that
paddling.
Yeah, because that's it. When you get on something that's been going that long, you definitely have to it's its own organism, and it's got its own sort of beat and its drive, and but it was certainly fun to play with those characters for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's a great cast.
Amazing, yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah.
And they just got picked up for one more final season, I guess, right?
Yeah, it was sort of. We won't be on that, unfortunately.
Right.
We will be moving
You're going
across
on to
town.
Old girl.
We're gonna go to an old girl. It's an old man, actually. It's I don't know if Matt LeBlanc would like that, but yeah, it's old man with a plan.
What are you doing?
It's called Man with a Plan. It's the second year of a CBS show with Matt LeBlanc.
Oh.
And it's and Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon.
And our friends, the Philgos, run it. It's going to be fun.
Oh, cool. So you guys are writing, producing that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
same capacity.
Oh, that's good.
Slightly smaller cast and not as much that I will have not seen.
Okay. Did you not watch the first season yet?
I'm getting through it.
Well,
the thing is, when we went on a New Girl, we literally had 3 seasons to watch. It was
which is like
insane.
60, 70 episodes.
I think it was like 70 episodes.
Yeah.
And I watched probably 40 of them on a flight to Costa Rica.
Oh, wow.
There and back.
Right.
And it ruined your head. You can't
That's
do
a lot
that.
of binging.
It sort of became one long episode.
Right. Because we didn't have a ton of time. We were like, it takes a while to get through that many. I don't know how the kids do it. Get through that much TV.
It's the sugar.
It's
all the sugar.
Yeah.
But that's good. It's a 20-hour episode of New Girl.
It's terrific. You should see it. It's revolutionary.
So people come and go.
I actually have an editor friend, and I had him just cut all the episodes together into one episode. So that way, it was like a novel, like a beautiful novel of New Girl.
I love it. It's like when the Godfather 1 and 2 when it was put together.
That's right.
Sequentially.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah,
it's really good.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
In the early New Girl, it's all Schmidt as in the fat suit. So that's like the first 3 hours.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
You think it's a story about an obese man finding his way in the world, and then around hour 5,
he graduates from college.
This woman comes in his life, and
I
then
wonder if you strung all those flashbacks together, how long you'd have. I wonder if you'd have a full half hour. Probably not.
I don't
those
think
are
so.
pretty
They're usually quick. Yeah,
like 30
quick.
seconds.
They're always too short, in my opinion. And I could watch it much longer.
Poor Max has to get in that suit. And he's like, fuck, just for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
He got a little tired of it.
Yeah, he was politely insisting that we stop, shoving him in that, I'm sure, 200-degree sweat lodge.
Yeah.
So how'd you get that job? How do you get jobs like this? Do you seek them, or do the people come after you, or how's that work?
That one, we had just done our pilot, the We Hate Paul Revere, for AMC, which was a thing that we wrote and produced and acted in, actually. And then when AMC, it was the only comedy they'd ever developed, and we turned it in, and they were like, I think it just kind of filtered its way up the chain, at AMC, and it finally got to some guy who was like, "What the fuck is this? Where is my zombie show?
Right.
Get this out of here."
No zombies in it.
No zombies.
Okay.
No period comedy taking place in 1770. It was a big swing.
So like turn, but funny.
Yeah,
It was a hilarious turn.
It was a hilarious.
Well, that was a phone call we got. I mean, it was a very long development process, and about, I think, a year and a half into it, we got a phone call from this amazing fellow we worked with there who was like, "You got to read something in the trades tomorrow. It does not affect our process, but we are doing a Revolutionary Era drama." So,
but if anything, it could be good because maybe we could use the same
I
sets.
just remember my stomach going right out my ass.
Shit.
Yeah, we're dead. That was the harbinger.
Well, this hasn't been done. What if you took the hour-long drama and then had a follow-up the same night of like a comedic take on it?
That's what they were.
They were kind of.
like that.
I think they circled that idea
for a moment, thinking they were going to do. Yeah,
I think
nobody's done it, guys.
no one's done it.
Yeah.
And still nobody has done it.
and maybe never will.
Chicago fire,
And then the funny parts.
smoke.
Yeah.
Chicago smoke.
Chicago smoke. Yeah, so then when that didn't go further, we were without jobs. And then we sort of, I think, submitted to them, or, I mean, we were sort of, you'd known Dave for a while.
Yeah, I knew I'm friends with one of those showrunners, so we had a relationship. But I feel like I think we just kind of did the Trail of Tears after.
Yeah, we did a lot of
we just went everywhere and
bottles of water in offices, saying like, "What are you gonna do next?" And we were like, "Well, I don't know." But it was a nice sort of gig to land in. It was sort of the next. So we were pretty busy right away because I mean, it's rare that you get a 22 episode order for a sitcom nowadays. I mean, it's one of the few still going like that. Well, now it's not.
Right. Well, in like prime time and prime network comedies, they seem to be mostly pretty good. I mean, like there's a lot of good comedies on networks and stuff like that. When dramas are not great on networks to me. Mm-hmm. To me, the networks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like at the same time, for me, it's whenever I go home and see my parents and watch their TV watching habits that I come face to face with like the things that Adrian and I are drawn to or would like to do or talk about doing or insist that we each other watch, or like our world of just shows and content and actors and whatever that excites us, none of it even move the needle for them. My dad watches like Madam Secretary.
Yeah.
And
Good Wife.
Loves it. Yeah. Good Wife for sure.
And CIS.
And my mom is like, my mom digs deeper. She's super into like, I don't know why we're discussing my parents.
Yeah, because I mean,
I got my brother to do it.
My brother
Dale
literally doesn't have cable.
Your brother doesn't?
He literally has the 5 channels that are free over the air.
Oh, okay.
He's like the one guy.
Does he dig around online for stuff?
Not really.
Because we don't have cable, but we have all the apps and Apple TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're still covered.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of that.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, if I'm
off the grid, they can't find me.
He thinks, it's like his birthright to have CBS, NBC, ABC fed into his house on rabbit ears.
Right.
And it is. That's how it started.
That's interesting. So
it was free.
Does he watch it?
Free. He's like demands that it's free.
God bless fucking America.
And does he watch on like a tube TV?
Yeah.
And it's cut off, like half the screen's cut off.
I don't even know
what does he do about like live sporting events and ESPN.
He goes to a bar.
Yeah, man, that's good living. Right? That's good smart. Living. You watch Jimmy fucking Kimmel and you go to bed.
You save yourself like, what is it, $300 a month now?
Yeah,
or whatever
you could.
the hell it is.
Come to do what I do.
Yeah,
just still save him a lot of money and still get it. Mm-hmm. But you gotta get the flat screen though. You gotta get the wide.
Yeah,
screen.
What do you do about like HBO shows and whatnot? Don't you have to have a subscription to a situation?
There's a couple things you could do. HBO and Showtime, they do things where you can buy their subscription on the app for like 10, $15 a month or something.
Sure.
Even Hulu's in on it.
Sure.
We use my brother's account password.
Do you want to cut that? You should edit that out. I think. Aren't you begging for a lawsuit of some kind?
That's good. They could come after me.
Didn't someone release the HBO Go password? I feel like John Oliver did that once, and it was like,
or just use
and they
mine,
didn't
maybe?
care, yeah, because they wanted people to see it. I don't know.
That's funny. That's
I think everybody's scrambling for eyes anyway.
Yeah.
It feels like
they don't care. Like my girlfriend was on HBO show called True Blood, and it was the most pirated show for like years.
That's
like
amazing.
A few years, and to them, that's like, hey, that's great.
Yeah, people want our stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
that means something.
Yeah, and now there's these people. I still don't. You may explain this to me. I may be stupid, but someone steals like an entire Orange is the New Black season.
Okay.
And then they like hold it ransom? Yeah. How does that work?
That I don't know. But they were trying to do something. I don't know if they were serious about, like, I don't know what they expected would happen. Like, they'd get a check or PayPal.
Yeah, I think like, or I'm going to release 10 minutes at a time of Pirates of the Caribbean if you don't pay me.
Yeah.
Just like...
You're going to jail, man.
But it's also a great movie to do that. I mean, you're quite literally like a new pirate. You're like taking...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're taking pirating. Yeah, you're pirating pirates.
Somebody made a good point of like, it's the fifth one. Like, why do I care about the fifth one? You know?
Yeah, is he going to survive the guy with the snake face? Or
the Johnny Depp blow up is really fun to watch for me.
Oh, man, yeah.
What are his kind of...
I think he's broke, man.
You think he's broke?
I think he's
money?
I think he pulled a Nick Cage. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want him to come after me, but I think he threw a shoe and now he's like doing... I mean, they made him stand on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yeah.
For like a whole day, being like, oh, he made these.
Yeah, in
like,
costume.
Wow.
Yep. I saw a video
be broke.
Yeah.
God,
he did something similar for the last Alice in Wonderland movie where there was like... he wasn't in person, but he was there. And they were
taking tickets,
videoing his image in like a billboard, and so you could go up to it and ask it questions, and it's him, and he's hearing.
They do that on like a Nemo thing.
Yeah,
maybe he likes it. Maybe he likes being close to the people that see his work. Maybe he's maybe at heart he's a busker and he just wants to be amongst the people.
Maybe
can't we? And then on the side he likes to beat the women he loves.
Yeah. Sneak dogs in Australia.
Yeah.
That's not broken. That seems like a perfectly healthful way to live your life.
Well, is there any chance he'll be in your next show?
We're working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
May have tanked it right now, but I don't know. I think if you offer him enough, he'll show up.
That's funny. So you're doing a Matt LeBlanc show.
Yeah. We've heard nothing but good things.
Cousin-in-law dated him.
Great.
Cool.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Bring it up?
I don't know. Sure. Her name's Laura.
Cousin-in-law.
Laura says hi.
Laura says hi from Maryland.
Okay.
It's
a good thing to have going for you in Maryland. My son, Matt LeBlanc.
Hey.
Buy me a beer.
That'll get you free beer for it. My son closed his thumb in the car door last night, and it was super brutal.
Rite of passage.
He did say, oh shit, which I enjoyed very much.
How old is he?
So quiet, he's standing and went, oh shit. And I was like, what? And his hand was stuck in my car. And we totally dodged a bullet. It didn't break. It was more or less fine. And so he had to soak it in Epsom salt to try to get some of the swelling out. And
does that work?
His nanny was a softball player in college, and she's like, when your thumbs and fingers are swollen, just soak them in Epsom salt. Yeah. She ran out, got it. I was like, I love you, and made a Epsom salt soak for my son. And so now he's like trapped there, and I had to pick something to just pass the time. And so I said, let's watch Friends. So I could, for some reason, I just wanted to see like season 1 Matt LeBlanc, like, and just freebase it. And god damn, he was amazing.
He's great.
Yeah.
So good.
He was. They all were so.
You gotta have a dumb guy.
Yeah.
That's what you learn.
But he's good.
Writing
like he was
TV.
Good. It's hard to be.
It's hard to be
like
a good, dumb guy.
lovable, still root for you, dumb guy.
Yeah,
you know.
But if you have that is like 60% of having a successful show.
Because Phoebe also was like, well, wait, what is jerky? Like she would like you could put anything.
Two dumb people.
Yeah, third of your characters should be
dumb,
certifiably, like not able to drive.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple dumb.
The parents were paint huffers.
Yes.
Something along those
that's
lines.
right. That's right.
I really do think it's easy, man.
Stolen, but it happens anyway, even if you don't want one.
Yeah, even if you don't
eventually
want one.
you're going to find yourself having one character.
And then you got an actor who's like, am I really this dumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know if you are or not. It's just
that.
really funny. Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be really great if you just put the envelope in the wrong mailbox.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about New Girl cast, nobody was the dumb person, but they all had like their moments of naivete.
Yeah.
It's true. It sort of toggles from Nick to Schmidt,
Right.
as far as like, but yeah, Nick's definitely the one where you kind of want to go. You just as the night gets on,
Right.
your jokes get a little more to the dumb. They skew dumb on that character a little easier.
Grown man, business owner,
Right.
and he doesn't know how to like what aforementioned means.
Yeah.
And he's also a conspiracy theorist.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I
is
appreciate. I appreciate
Are
that.
you a conspiracy theorist?
Yeah, I would say.
Are you?
Well, I'm prone to. I don't know if I'm a theorist.
Okay.
Enthusiast.
Well,
Yeah,
is the
I'm
world flat or round?
Don't do this.
I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy.
Don't do-
It's more the world's doomed.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a round way.
Yeah, it's round, but it's fucked.
Well, it's gonna be fun.
We're dead.
Right.
The world will go on.
Are you referring to Trump?
No, Trump.
He's
It
fine.
doesn't matter.
He's okay.
The poles are melting.
Right.
It's over.
we have
Giant
that
pockets of methane that you-
lockbox of seeds,
that
right?
got flooded, which I'm pretty sure means that I just have the image of that building just go with just like every plant coming out of it once it got flooded. It's just like a chia pet of every known floral thing, wheat,
Yeah.
corn,
Tulips.
yeah, everything just bursting out of that building once it got flooded.
17 varieties of blueberry.
Yeah, and it had to be really fast too.
Yeah.
It was like
Tweet,
one
tweet,
day.
tweet, 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 tweet.
Yeah.
Well, that was everything. We're fucked.
Well, I saw a tweet you put on Twitter where you challenged Donald Trump to a golf match.
I did. I really expected that to catch on.
It was a
It did
GoFundMe,
not.
right?
It was a
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Well, I needed to raise $10 million because
plug
I
it.
felt
Plug
like
it now. Plug it.
Yeah. Okay.
plug
It's
it.
a
Go ahead.
GoFundMe. I don't know what I called it,
Okay, this is going well.
so it's hard to plug. But if you search me, Adrian Wenner, you'll find it's the only
golf
one I've done.
Trump.
And then I felt like an asshole because I thought like, oh, is GoFundMe for serious stuff?
Oh, right.
And it's Kickstarter that I should have used. So then I backed way off. But anyway, it's to raise $10 million. I figured he looks so bad at golf and he's so vain. I feel like if you offered him enough money, he would be like, yeah, I'll play you. And I was going to try to get his attention with 10 million. And then if I win, he would resign.
I see. Okay.
And I figured we could like,
So we'd pay him to play you,
yeah.
and then you
Or we'd pay him
win.
if I lost.
If he beats
Oh, if
Adrian, he
you
makes
lost,
a cool
okay.
10 mil.
If he beats me, he gets 10 million, and if I beat him, he goes the fuck away.
Okay.
I felt like that was a pretty fair exchange.
He
And then
made-
I realized he's probably making $70 million a day
Yeah.
just screwing everything up. So
Yeah, probably.
it's probably not worth it.
But he may take your offer up in a few months.
He might.
yeah, maybe. Then I'm really screwed. I should have put a time limit on it.
And because you're a golfer, you're like a pretty avid golfer.
It's feast or famine. I've been
Okay.
playing some, but when I'm working, I don't play much at all.
Okay. But you love golf. It's a passion.
I
right?
like it.
You like it. Okay.
I like it.
All right. So you have a moderate. You're okay at it, but you want to play Trump.
I want to play Trump because I think he's just so fat and bad. And he lies.
Yeah.
Adrian's
He says-
really good at golf. I should
He is,
say,
right?
he's
He
being
says
modest right
he's-
now. He's extremely good
Okay.
at
He
golf.
says he's
thought
a
so.
2.9, a handicap or
Okay.
a index. There's no way.
Yeah. He's the most 2.9. He's the biggest 2.9.
He's the best 2.9.
Best
He's the
ever.
2.9est.
Nobody ever's been a 2.9.
No
He
one's
has
ever
all the
been a
2.9s.
He invented 2.9.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Have you ever heard that expression? 2.9? It's just a number with a
You'd
decimal.
bash him in the head by the third hole.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even. I just tackle
If
him.
not thought this through. Just the smell of him. 40 minutes in, you put a fucking wedge in his eyeball.
Boy, I would like to see those headlines.
Yeah.
I would like to see those headlines.
Funny thing gone horribly wrong. This dude's going to spend his life in prison.
Well, I know you guys from the iOWest theater.
Yeah.
I watched Adrian improvise on a regular basis for a bunch of years, and I would see Ethan once in a while. You'd pop into something, and you guys did a show for a while called Epitaph. It was like a sketch. I guess it was a sketch play. I don't know what you call that. A sketch show, but a play. Also, it was like a play.
A scripted herald.
Yeah.
A scripted herald.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Okay. And there were no sets. There was no costumes. There was nothing like that. You guys played multiple characters. That was really fun. I saw that show a bunch of times.
Thanks.
And then I saw it again when you brought it back.
Yes.
Years later.
Reunion.
A mere 10 years later. Yeah.
10 years later. And I saw that one too.
Yeah. Thanks.
And I was like,
yeah, we had to change
They
the
got
references.
old.
Yeah. They don't move as fast.
They don't jump around anymore.
Adrian, he was so physical. He used to jump around.
Slow.
Ethan's helping him around the stage. It's taking 40 minutes for him to sit down.
But it gave me major deja vu.
Yeah.
Seeing you guys in like the same wardrobe.
Yeah. Just black pant, white shirt.
Yeah, in the same seating arrangement. It was very interesting. What made you guys bring that back?
Well, we were about to shoot that pilot Adrian mentioned, We Hate Paul Revere. And, we had done over the years plenty of stuff, shot plenty of things that we had written and were producing and were acting in. And we just felt like, that's a tall order to do well, to be able to compartmentalize like that. And we were just wanting to ensure that the performing part of that process was fun and easy and giving it our best version of ourselves. And it felt like, that first collaboration we had after college was so just free and easy. We were like children. We were so young and coming at it from such different points of view, and so that was just a way to sort of remount something to try to refresh us in terms of that spirit between us, and just the physical act of fucking around like that together, and there are portions of that show, even when we did it a decade later, that he would do that I would legitimately have trouble not breaking. And, if you spend 10 years in a writer's room together, sort of staring at a whiteboard or arguing about what's a better version of the blow of a scene, or, it can kind of squash that sort of delight, So that was an attempt to just kind of put something back on its feet and get back to having just fucks aroundsies with each other. And it was fun that way. I mean, it was stark in how difficult it was to get through an hour and 10 minutes of stuff versus when we were a decade younger, but and interestingly, not that you asked this question, but the material, I mean, it was about an obsessive kind of love, a very young, it was very much like young men thinking about a woman, thinking about a kind of woman, thinking about what love was. And it was weird, at least for me, since we became husbands and fathers, to redo that material and be like, this is such a young man's view of the world. We're going to compete over who loved her more, and she was so perfect, and all of these, just like, we obviously would write a very different version of two men missing the same woman now, and who she was, and she'd be a horrible liar, and
the end of the world.
But that's why we did it, was just to kind of get back to that, and also in a weird way to get back to the kind of performing shape, because we really hadn't had time to do much performing.
Yeah,
get the rust off.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you came up with it, were you guys hoping it would just be a piece that you would just do and maybe could tour around festivals with it, or were you hoping it would also be a sort of showcase for writing?
I mean, my memory of it is I came out here in 2002, and Adrian had already been here for 6 years.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
I was in New York.
Okay.
And I knew two things. One, I was not eager to join the ranks of like comedic Jewish 20-something dudes out here. Like,
your first mistake.
Yeah. But what experience I had.
On rails right now.
Yeah, well, what auditioning I had already done out here, I was like, woof, there's a lot of me out here,
Yeah, right.
And I just wanted to make sure that and also that whatever, the word success is not being used correctly here, but whatever sort of like momentum I had or texture professionally I was getting in my life was when I made my own stuff. And so I just wanted to come out here and kind of plant a flag in some ways. And Wenner was consistently in our past together a person that I just loved working with and I just admired, and I loved the stuff that we made together. And so I kind of just insisted that we do something together. I more or less was like, we're making something, and he was pretty much like, okay. Because in my impression, you had made $1 billion. I mean, you're always putting up shows at IO,
Yeah, but I never like scripted. I guess, yeah. I mean, but yeah, it was when Sandler got out here. I was like, oh, finally, I'm not in a room alone, sort of bashing away on a computer anymore. I got a buddy back.
Yeah, buddy.
I think you're being robbed.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. It's gonna happen.
Sooner
or later.
Get it over with.
But we did do that show. I feel like, I mean, that's the thing, is like the purity of that is, when talking to young people that are starting, you're just like, you have to do one just for you. Like that was, we didn't know what it was going to do, which is why it did so much. We weren't like trying to like, it wasn't to get an agent, or it wasn't to get a writing manager. It was just to like do something and like not
I didn't
be
even
frustrated
know, sorry to interrupt, but I didn't even know what, when I think back on the things that we were able to do or that came after it, like I didn't even know to visualize those things. Like I didn't even know what I could be expecting. I came out here with my fucking pants down. I had no idea what.
Yeah, bad call.
I feel like they went my pants down. It's a good look.
Yeah, but we didn't know what it was for. I mean, we sort of we handed this giant ream of paper to my wife Betsy Thomas, and she was like, "Well, cut it in a third, and then we'll talk."
Yeah,
it was ambitious. It was everything. It was just everything. It was like, I don't know. It was like you just throw stuff at the wall. Back then, you're not like overthinking it, and then it took months to sort of like chop it down and hone it, and then it kept evolving throughout all the places we would take it to too, which was fun. It was just this sort of work in progress with the three of us, kind of like wandering the earth, which was nice. But it was like, we converted into a screenplay almost immediately because that's what we thought we had to do.
My manager said, remember, it was like, I stumbled into a manager that saw Epitaph, and he pretty quickly was like, if this was a script we could pass around, we'd have a lot more.
Yeah.
And so
we wrote this insane script that was, I mean, the budget on it was like $40 billion. It's like ski hills and
for just like 1 second.
Just didn't know what the hell we were doing. But we just put it all at it, and then that sort of ended up kind of leading us to TV in a weird way.
Okay, so it was almost like a spec script kind of.
Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was just to sort of like, here's a voice that these guys. I mean, you hear that a lot. These guys have a point of view, and like, it was just what we didn't know how to do. We learned, but what we sort of brought was just this weird sort of take that I think people were like, I don't know, that didn't hate.
So when did you guys meet?
We met at college at Northwestern.
In
like 91, 2. We were in a Meow show together, which is the improv sketch show at Northwestern that started in the 70s. It was a sort of the alternative review show out of their more musical, what do you call it? More sort of like straight ahead reviews with musical theater.
It was like the slam dance.
Yeah, it was like the offshoot of that. But it was, when I got there, it was like the one thing I knew I wanted to try to do.
Comedy?
Was that show specifically. Because I was doing Second City when I was in high school.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I knew like Julia Louis-Dreyfus was in that show, and Brad Hall was in that show, and that show kind of like a lot of Second City people were sort of coming down from there, and I was like, well, I have to get there. And one of the first people I met at Second City was this guy Paul Valancourt, who was
recent guest on Scratch the Surface,
and who was directing the next year of Meow, and I was like, oh wow, I really want to do that. So we sort of became friends, and then he was a grad student at Northwestern, and then I think Ethan and I met at that audition, and it was like,
I didn't know you knew Paul before that. It was sort of nepotism. I mean, it showed in your work that you clearly had like a leg up at the auditions, but I thought it was like an even playing field. That's so interesting to find that out.
But you earned it.
I did earn it.
You had your pants down.
I had my pants down.
I know. All right, truth be told, I vouched for you.
Oh, thanks.
That day.
Thanks.
No, it was great because we found Ed Herbstman in that world. Yeah. We all met in a weird like conference room at the student union at Northwestern, and like that's sort of where it kind of started. I mean, that's when I gave up on my dumb political science major and like.
Is that what you wanted to do?
I was a poli-sci. It was sort of in the family business because my parents taught it. My brother had a master's in it, so. Okay. But I was sort of a dual major.
And where were you from originally?
Outside of Chicago.
Outside of Chicago, okay. Born and raised?
Yeah, Naperville. Born in DeKalb. Just farm.
What made you do Second City in high school?
I got my mother had gone to the University of Chicago and in the 60s, and she had randomly kind of walked into a bar and seen Del and Elaine May and Mike Nichols and what became the Compass. Whoa. So when she sort of followed them up north when they got a space.
Your mom followed them?
Well, I mean, sort of like kept going to shows.
Yeah,
she would
she was a fan.
She was like a fan, so she knew of it. And so she took me there when I was extraordinarily young. I went to the Second City main stage when I was 10, and it was a bar. It was a smoke-filled fucking bar.
Do you remember who you saw?
Yeah, I have the stage bill.
God, that's amazing.
What was it?
82?
Yeah, it was Bonnie Hunt. Now I'm on the spot.
Jason Sudeikis.
Jim Belushi?
Jim Belushi was not. He came to the second show I'd ever been in and did the set. I can't. Oh, damn it. Oh, you know who was on it? Isn't it Dan Castellaneta?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I remember being in line at that thing, and people. I mean, it was just smoke. It was fully. It was like you couldn't breathe, and you couldn't see the stage at the end of it. It was a totally different experience, and I remember getting looks from people in line like, "What the fuck are you doing, bringing this child here?" And then she just kept taking me. She didn't give a shit. She was like, "It's either that or find a sitter." So that's where, and I was like, the second I saw it, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Oh, interesting.
Because it was political and edgy and cool and not. It was
funny,
crazy. It was, I'd never seen anything like it. It was like a live Carol Burnett show. So it was like, I have to do this, and then I would just keep going. And then when I could drive, I would go to the sets. Whoever poor fucking girl I was dating, I would drag her downtown at 10 and make her sit through an improv set with me. When she just sat there like, what the fuck am I doing here? My dad needs me back home.
It's such a horrible feeling when you insist on someone joining you to an improv show and you're geeking out so hard. Transitions and callbacks and like how things are like dovetailing and you're like, and they just don't, they're like asleep.
They don't get it.
It's just so...
They don't get it, guys. They don't get it.
I'll never say that improv is just like jazz, but isn't it just like jazz?
It's just like jazz. You can bore the shit out of
you're just you're either a goddamn nerd about it and you love everything about it and you worship the greats and you love the like technical stuff and or you just hate it. It's just noise.
That's so funny. Did you maybe AdSit? Was AdSit on?
No, AdSit was much later.
Much later.
I remember my first.
'90s.
The first.
That's true.
It was Joel Murray was in one of the earliest ones I saw.
Does he know that? Does he know?
That's cool. He loves me bringing it up, how I was 10 and saw him on main stage. Loves me bringing that up.
So Colbert, Carell.
Colbert and Carell were at Second City Northwest when I got... That opened, I think, when I was maybe in junior high or high school. I don't know the dates, but I remember going there when I was like in high school because it was a little closer and less dangerous. You didn't have to park on, by a housing project.
Right.
But Colbert, Rosowski, Carell, Rabano, Rachel Dratch, Tina Fey ended up. That was the main stage show with Ad Sit. That's when that one really blew up. Yeah, McKay. That was Pinata Full of Bees. That was the game changer in Chicago.
That was so awesome.
It was really cool. But I got, it was just luck that I got to grow up in that. And I remember Martin DeMott, who's passed on, who's a great guy. But he, at my first Second City class, I was 17, and it was like, he was like, looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing here? I was like, how old are you?
But it wasn't for like the high school classes?
No, it was the main. It was just the main. I was like, I want to do it, and I just fucking signed up. And my friend Jerry Halav and I drove down every Saturday, and he was like, when he was like reading the roll, he was like Adrian Wenner, and I was like here, and he's like, oh my god, did your parents drop you off? Like he wasn't meaning to be mean.
Right.
I looked super young.
Yeah.
I looked like a
You look
child.
young now.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. And he was so sweet. He took me under his wing, and he was like, this poor child taking improv class with like grown-ups.
I guess I'm his babysitter.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I had Martin DeMott in New York. I was doing improv classes, and I looked in like one of these, trades, and saw a weekend workshop with Martin DeMott from Second City, Chicago, and I was like, I didn't know him, but I was like, okay, I'll do it. If he's Second City, that's a name. I mean, I could maybe even list like who he taught or something. And I took 2 days of improv with him, and he was a really nice guy and a fun class.
Beautiful guy. Yeah,
that was the only
sweet
interaction I had with him.
Yeah.
That was it. What, Ethan, where were you from?
Seattle.
Oh, you're from
Birthplace of grunge.
Birthplace of
Seattle. Oh, I'm
grunge.
familiar.
Sure.
I'm sorry for your loss with Chris Cornell.
Yeah, you're being a little
recently.
glib. We just lost CC. That actually does suck. I'll joke.
It does.
That's
It
horrible.
does sound horrible.
That was a super tough.
Especially how he died.
Horrible. It's all.
Did you grow up during? I guess you're just a few years older than me, so you grew up. That's a great time to grow up in Seattle.
It was
right?
great.
Like
yeah,
the music scene, especially probably in the late '80s and stuff.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Yeah, and
But that has its own strain of like Spolin and.
Yeah, I was.
We bonded over this early
Yeah.
because the theater games sort of. Like,
Yeah, there was a great. The theater sports there was actually deceptively good, even though like. Later, I'd grow to get super snobby about those games. They were. It was just They were my rock stars. I was just thinking, hearing you talk. There was like, we'd go every weekend and just geek out about those dudes. Thought they were geniuses. And then I was lucky enough to be taught by one of them, a gentleman named Matt Smith, who
Doctor Who.
Yeah. He also was an improv performer in Seattle in the late 80s, early 90s.
Well, he could time travel.
He was not a great teacher, but a very interesting person. And I was just having a memory. Johnstone came down and taught a weekend workshop in Seattle, and this is when I was in high school. And so my buddy Dominic and I signed up to study with Keith Johnstone for a weekend. And
yeah, I remember you talking to me. I was like, holy shit, you met Keith Johnson?
We just had...
I don't know who that is.
So he wrote Impro, which is like...
Oh, okay.
One of the early Bibles.
Yeah.
And we had just started smoking pot. And the night before, just got so stoned. And the next day had the stupids. Had like the legitimate, back when like, oh no, the whole next day is sort of ruined and my brain won't work. And
you had the Tribbianis.
I'm tripping out and I can't, and there's Keith Johnstone and I'm like trying to improvise and I'm like, I can't. And I remember just like swearing to God, I'm like, just get me through this and I'll never smoke pot again.
Nah.
And I haven't. That was the last time. That was the last time I smoked pot.
True to your word.
Hey, I'm a man of integrity. Anytime I beg God to get me through something and I'll never smoke pot again.
Usually I'll never smoke pot again.
I've kept that promise. but yeah, and then so similarly, by the time I got to college, I was pretty like improv was all I really cared about.
Really?
Yeah, we hit it hard. That
Yeah.
was like the right time too.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's sort of like, I mean,
I don't know how you'd navigate it now.
it's just so much. There's
think
so
Chicago.
much.
Chicago, I think you still do Second City and iOWest stuff in Chicago.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's as pure and lovely as ever. It's just I think it's hard for me to like look at that now, and it's because it got so big and the industries are now
Could you
like
imagine being 23 in New York right
sprawling.
now? Like,
Love it.
because it's just you'd have so much to see.
It'd be like nice to be 23 again.
Oh, you just well, no.
well, yeah, everything that starts with "Can you imagine being in New York at 23?" is like, sure,
Yep, I'm in. What are we
sign
doing?
me up.
Who am I robbing and
I
why?
don't care.
Take my pants down? Is that
Yeah.
where it starts?
Just
I'll do it.
farting in a meeting at a temp job.
I don't care.
Well, what'd your parents do? Did they-
My dad was an architect, and my mom was a dancer when I was very young, and then went on to other variety of endeavors. But
like different random jobs and stuff?
yeah,
'Cause she was like a mom? 'Cause
she was a mom, and then when she was ready to go back to work, she started working at like the Art Institute of Seattle and so on. But they were always supportive of the theater stuff, and particularly the improv. And
Did you feel funny? Did you feel like I'm the funny guy? I'm the
yeah,
funny one
I was
of my
really
friends or something.
lucky in that I found 2 or 3 friends in high school that were as weird as I felt, and we were just super. I mean, I was like the actor. Like, I wanted to be a fucking actor, and these dudes less so. But we just really connected on comedy. So we like really our lives were like watching Bugs Bunny and figuring it out, and like
Figuring out Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny?
yeah, like why? Like, how does he
too
get
complicated.
that hole? Seems really. Wait a minute. It seems simple, but he seems to have a house underground.
Yeah, I mean,
Just the comedy of that, or of like, whatever. We just that's how we spent that's how what we communicated about. We bonded over
comedy.
fucking
Yeah.
comedy and music and whatever.
Comedy albums? You do albums
Sure,
and stuff?
yeah.
sure.
Who'd you like? Steve Martin?
yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking into Marvelous. Billy
Yeah.
Crystal's record,
Oh,
really.
oh,
Like
yeah.
I memorized every
Yeah.
word of that thing. And then when he came around on a tour, I remember I would like a dude at a U2 show, I'd like shout out stuff. Yeah,
That's not a great color.
I don't know, maybe.
Did he like that?
Yeah, he needed it. There's a couple of
Really?
points where he needed someone to like, because he would be playing 2 parts in the record, and
Really?
yeah, that's a really weird memory I have. We should track him down and see if he.
Bet he'd be more than willing to talk about it.
Would he do it on here? Maybe you do it on here. On my podcast?
Yeah, let's meet up. Me and Billy will sit down and be like, and it would be 5 seconds because I'd ask him the question, be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be like, Jenny, I went to college with Jenny. My friend Dan dated Jenny for a hot minute. Very attractive.
I'll take it. I
Yeah.
take it. I love Billy Crystal. I saw his 500 or 700
Sundays. Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was funny though because there was I saw it by myself, and there's a woman at intermission, and a very old woman next to me, and she goes, "Are you enjoying the show?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "You're not laughing." I go, "Oh, well, no, I'm enjoying it." She goes, "Are you Jewish?"
Uh-huh.
And I go, "No." So she thought,
Oh, that's it.
she thought,
That's what it is.
That's why.
You're missing everything.
you're missing all the references and stuff. And I was like, "No, I'm having fun."
But out, lady. None of your fucking business, man. I got an athlete's foot. I'm trying not to take my shoes off.
The second half, I was like, you know?
I get it.
Oh, there he is.
You don't want to be anti-Semitic.
What a beautiful face you have.
Right. That was so funny. So did you guys are big SNL lovers growing up, of course.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that, like you said, I found a couple people in high school. I think that helps a lot, who are weird and want to go down Monty Python wormholes with you. And SNL was yeah, it was big, but I think I was way more into that British comedy that was on like
Yeah, by high school, it feels like.
WTTW, like it was on the public access channels and stuff, and yeah, it was just like, what's going on over there, and then you go back. I think that's what I get frustrated with, people that don't want to go back, and I mean, it's not like you have to, but I feel like I just took such joy in being like, well, this is this thing I found. Let's like look back at how it got to here, rather than just quoting the latest SNL bit. To want to go back and be like, you know, what was before this, and where did this come out of and stuff.
This is my girlfriend.
How's it going?
Deborah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Adrian.
We're so excited
Lovely
you guys
house.
are coming over.
Oh,
Thank you. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thanks.
New girl fan.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
New girl.
Me too.
So they're working on a new Matt LeBlanc show.
Yeah, we left New Girl.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
I know.
And that's why they're going to do one last season. They're like, well, Ethan and Adrian are going.
Finally got those two out of here.
Yeah,
Back to
well, all
work.
right, we'll do one more. It felt like we ended it.
I know,
Now
we
they gotta
tried.
figure out another way to end it.
I thought we killed it.
I know.
It's the first one we haven't killed.
I know. The way we wanted.
Oh, too bad. All right, well,
You guys have fun.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Good luck. Break
Are you
legs.
going to an audition?
Yeah.
Break leg.
I'm not
That'll be
good.
fun.
You're going to do
Oh.
great.
Gonna do great.
I was
You're
the
gonna do
worst.
Great.
Yeah, you're gonna do
You're
great.
not good either.
No,
It's
horrible.
awful, right?
It's the worst.
Horrible.
It's the single worst way to select someone for a job.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
the
glad
exact.
on, like your side of it. You
Oh,
feel
yeah.
that
It's
way.
the exact
I know.
opposite skill set that
Yeah.
you actually
Right?
need
Yeah.
Exactly.
to do the job.
Stand wherever you want.
It's like interviewing I don't know, like a Navy pilot by like, can you drive this Jeep really fast
Yeah.
Right.
and not spill it?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it
It's
feels.
just so fucking stupid.
And then I meet actors who are like, "No, I love it. It's just another chance to do my art." And I'm like,
No.
No, that's a lie.
"It
That's a
never
lie.
feels like
That's
art
just
in
not
the
nice to be
room.
looked
Are you
at.
kidding
That's your
me?"
art is not being watched. That's like your art.
Yeah.
That's my advice. That's my advice.
I know. I get very angry at you when you make that. All right, have
In
fun.
theory, it sounds good.
It
Bye.
does sound good.
Break a leg.
Yeah, break a
Bye,
leg.
baby. Yeah, she's got it. What happened?
Don't worry about it. She's stomping.
Oh,
around.
she's stomping around. New girl. Okay. What
Oh,
you
I was saying. Oh, yeah. So I like took pride in like going back and like watching. I mean, then luckily I had a father who had a bunch of those albums and would let me buy more, and I did a lot of Bob Newhart.
Oh, but
When
I
he
got to
was-
meet him recently. It's so cool.
That's a top tenor,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
and I've heard he's just delightful too.
In the 4 seconds that I met him, he was delightful.
Yeah,
He smiled, said, "Sure, take a picture," and that was it.
that's
It. I
nice.
was like, "Thanks."
You got your
Bob.
picture with him.
Got it. And I got
Yeah.
that story. I got to tell that 30-second story.
You met him and took a picture with him, and he was very nice.
Yeah,
it's a great story.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Better than if you met David Lee Roth.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet David Lee Roth?
No, I have a friend who did, and it's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
Long story short, this guy Rob, who I worked with, he was like a big fan of Van Halen,
Yeah.
huge fan.
Sure.
His dad managed the local Hilton, I think, in St. Louis, where he's grown up.
Okay.
The only hotel that they could stay in. Van Halen was in town. His dad was the manager of the hotel, and he called his son and said, "Rob, they got the show at 8. Come hang out in the lobby. They have to. They're going to come down this elevator. They're going to have to walk through the lobby. That's your chance."
Okay.
So he pedaled his bike with his Diver Down album under his arm. waited. Like at 10 o'clock, his dad was like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on up there," but they have their show they're 2 hours late for, so they have to be up there. And finally, David Lee Roth came down and started walking through the lobby, and Rob was like, "Oh my God, I'm such a big fan. Will you sign my Diver Down?" And he had a cigarette and his arms around two
2 girls.
girls, and he just looked at him and went, "Fuck off, kid," and walked away.
I think that's great.
And I
I
said,
wish Bob Newhart did that with me.
Yeah, that's.
Fuck
I feel
off.
like that's a
2
far
girls.
better. That's right, and a cigarette.
Cigarettes, like, fuck off, man.
Fuck off, kid.
"Oh yeah."
Did you guys ever get a chance to audition for SNL or anything like that?
No, never. I never did that.
I made a tape and sent it to my manager. That's as far as
I never even did that.
Would you do like impressions and
yes,
characters?
just stupid characters. I think back to those character auditions with a lot of shame. I did really weird things that were unhelpful. Just like I have a horrible memory of coming into a dude's very small office and doing a Viking sports announcer.
Okay.
And
Do it.
You want to do it now?
You do it.
come on, should I?
No,
So it was just so loud, and it was so in his face, and it was like his everything, every cell in his body was vibrating. Like, just get the fuck out of my office. This is not funny. And I wouldn't stop, and I knew I was sort of delighting on how bad it was going. I have a lot. That's something that comes back to me occasionally.
Is that was filmed and sent?
No, this was for some Fox sketch show. Yesterday.
Mad TV. Mad TV. What about you could have done your marvelous Billy Crystal?
I should have done my Billy Crystal. I should have done the whole album.
Done the whole album.
Yeah.
That clearly worked at some point.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Plagiarize it.
So when you guys met and decided to start working together, that was in college you started working together?
That was the show we did that for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The improv sketch show.
And Ethan, what did you want to study? What were you studying?
I was studying film.
Oh, you were studying film,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And you're like, this poli-sci guy wants to be a funny, that was you.
Yeah.
Well, there was enough. I mean, no, the improv in the meow. I mean, you were also doing theater, right? So I didn't.
yeah.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah.
He sort of kept his poli-sci thing under his hat around us, more or less.
I didn't tell anyone.
Or would occasionally drop it to show that he was more cultured than the rest of us, which was effective.
And you were in New York for how long?
I guess 95 to 02.
Were you?
I briefly went downtown Chicago after, and then sort of kept doing IO and Second City down there, and then I ended up moving to LA completely randomly with a show that we had been doing an Improv Olympic called the Improvised Movie, and then
with Paul and stuff?
with Paul,
Yeah.
and I forget how many we were at that point. I think there were 6 of us or 5 of us at that point. We ended up getting scouted for the Aspen Comedy Festival, and then it was a classic one of those like, after Aspen, come to LA and get the lay of the land. And I was like, okay, I'll be out there for 2 weeks, and never went back.
Wow.
And had to like have someone ship my stuff out, because I was like, oh, I guess it was fully 3 years, and I realized, oh shit, I live in LA. I gotta unpack.
Um,
There's a weird time vortex in LA.
Yeah, especially those
Yeah.
early years
Yeah.
where you're like, how long have I been here?
I've been thinking of this Bed Bath & Beyond.
I have a
since-
job here. I got a job.
What is this small human I'm holding?
What was some earlier jobs that you had here?
I catered and then did room service at the Chateau Marmont.
A nice, very nice hotel.
Very nice hotel. Back then it was not as, it was still very nice, but it was very, it wasn't as popular and wasn't as crowded and nice.
Okay.
It was a little still shabby.
Okay.
It was still a little gritty,
Needed a little
which
work.
was it was just the place to go if you didn't want to be, if you didn't want anyone to know you were there. More, that's sort of what the reputation was when I was there.
Okay.
Rather than now, it's sort of like I want to be seen at the chateau.
Right.
Back then, it was like there was no hanging out in the lobby. There was no. You were
No David Lee Roth coming through.
no. But those were, and I met Betsy there.
Okay. What was she doing there?
She was staying there because she was getting a divorce.
Oh.
And I swooped in.
You're like,
Grabbed
great.
her. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she'd been living there, and we had a mutual friend. The guy who hired me was also a Northwestern grad who was the food and beverage manager at the time, and he called it an underground railroad from Northwestern, that he would just give Northwestern idiots out of their station wagon a job.
That's
If
nice
you
to
could
have.
carry a plate of food, he would give you a job, at least catering a couple
Okay.
times a year, and then
Okay.
if you weren't a complete idiot, you could get another job. And then he knew Betsy from college, and he was like, "You guys should meet." And then,
Really?
Yeah. And then He had me bring up her burger.
He literally sent Adrian as a gift up to Betsy's room
with a bow wrapped around him.
Yeah.
pants down.
Yeah, pants down.
Shuffling in.
Yeah, with a burger. Crying.
I have your burger. I have your burger.
What's happening?
I live in Chicago, I think.
Yeah.
And his sign said, "Sorry about your divorce. Here you go."
Yeah, exactly. I had to wear that sign.
Well, that's great that you guys hit it off, and you must have made the divorce process much easier on her.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
could say that. You smoothed that transition.
Has that gentleman remarried?
Yeah, he has kids and everything.
Great. Seems like a nice guy. I met him. He's a very nice guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Oh, really? No kidding.
The opposite of me, but he's a very nice guy. He's an
He's
agent.
hopeful.
Yeah, he's hopeful. He's bright. He's sweet.
He's an agent, you said?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, you want to say?
He's a CIA agent.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
My girlfriend's...
He's a literary agent.
Oh, literary, okay. My girlfriend's with CIA. That's so funny. So didn't you guys just hit it off right away? How long did you date?
I think we were together about a year and a half, and then we've been married now. I think it's 18 in May.
18 years in May, and then together almost 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
It is May.
Oh, the end of May.
No, dude, it's June.
I'm looking
May.
at that calendar. It's like, I got a week.
Oh, it's like next week?
It's the 30th.
Okay,
It's okay. I got a
May
week.
30th.
I got a week. But thank you for the reminder.
18.
18, which I think is the
Boy, did you
pet
get-
food anniversary.
That's right. It's just a
Okay.
handful of kibble.
That's good.
It's a
That's easy to
plastic
get.
bag.
I can give you some on the way out.
Yeah.
Hey. Thanks.
Yeah. And you've been married now. I did not know this.
Yep,
You're married to Kathryn Hahn.
I am, yeah.
And when I was researching you,
Mm-hmm.
I saw all these pictures with you and Kathryn Hahn. I'm like, what's he doing with Kathryn Hahn?
He
Yes.
stalked her for many years.
Yes.
And then
Tracked her
finally,
down. Yes. This is before Twitter was very difficult.
And you guys have kids?
We do have 2 kids, yeah.
But they met in college.
You got in Northwestern?
Uh-huh.
Okay, then I guess you knew her too then.
Mm-hmm. I get to see it unfold.
Very nice. How romantic.
Yeah.
Roast.
Was she
terrible.
part of the comedy group?
She was not. In college, she was a very, very serious actor.
Okay.
And
She's a
did
great
not-
actor.
She, agreed.
She
and
was busy acting circles around us.
she was very good then, too, but she
You jesters.
did
Yeah.
not she did not think much of it, improvisation
Okay.
at the time. And
I assume that's changed.
sure, yeah.
A little bit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you hit it off right away? Or
No,
was there
not right away. No, I was an annoying person, and I had a necklace around that I wore of a seahorse because at that young age, when I learned that seahorses, the male seahorse,
Yeah.
carries the babies, this to me was like just.
This is a surefire way to get laid.
My folks were splitting up. It felt very important to me. Like, I'm going to be a man of integrity. Like, I love this symbol. I thought that they were beautiful. And so I had a necklace, and she said, "What's up with your necklace?" I said that. She said, "I just fucking hate when guys do shit they think chicks are going to like," and walked away. And I was like, "I will marry her. I will have children with her."
Whether she likes it or not.
Yeah, and I basically drugged her, and that's not funny. You know what? That's not funny because that happens.
Especially in college.
Yeah, literally.
Very,
I have a
very
daughter. I
often
should not
in
even make that joke ever
No,
again.
no, no. Retract. Edit.
Yeah.
But
But it was, we were like a typical.
So you won her over at some point.
Yeah, it was great, man. College was great. We did a whole lot of fighting and loving, and we were kids. It was great.
Yeah. When did you get married?
It's going to be 15 years in January, which is funny because when we started, Adrian and I reconnected here in LA, I thought it was impossible how long they'd been married and how grown up it seemed, and now it's just like 3 years, I guess.
Yeah, you were very close.
It was
behind
right on your
me.
heels. We're like, geez,
But you were
This one
together before you
we'll be
married for-
25 years in
Yeah,
January.
1
Yeah.
years. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. It's going to be our last year.
Go out with a bang.
25. That's the deal I made her sign.
Yeah, man.
Well, you waited.
She's an unrestricted free agent after 25.
So you waited like 10 years before you got married.
We did. We did.
We had separate. You were like in one city. She was in another.
Where was she?
Well, she was here.
In LA?
We moved out to New York together, and then she went to school. She went to grad school, and
New York?
at Yale, and then
Oh, wow. Yale. Smarty.
It was just an acting. So you don't have to be smart
you don't
to
have
go
to be smart to
No, you don't.
really?
You just have to be a good actor.
Okay.
God damn it. You don't have to be fucking smart to go to Yale for acting.
You don't have to be that smart to go to Yale, period.
That's
what I've learned.
W went to Yale, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and then we got engaged while she was there, and then she got a job here on a TV show, and 9/11 happened, and I just said about fucking, and I'd fucked like 50 to 60 women in like 2 years after. What do you mean? No, this is how I courted my wife.
Oh.
And then we moved out here, and then we got married.
Okay. So
It's the quickest 9/11 into fucking I've ever heard.
I was freaking out, man. I don't know how you dealt with a
Your
lot.
9/11 stories, I had to have fucked 50 women.
50 to 60. I think it was like 56. I don't want to be talking. I don't know the number. Yeah. We were all so sad.
So wait, so she was in Yale and you were in New York?
In our apartment in Hell's Kitchen with our cats and like.
Okay.
And we went back and forth every weekend. And
I see. For how many years?
It's a 3-year program. Yeah.
Oh God, that's rough. I did 3 years long distance when my girlfriend was out here and I was in Chicago.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable.
It's not ideal.
Not ideal.
And this was before.
Yeah, Skype and texting.
Texting,
and all that
yeah,
stuff.
we couldn't even. It was just late night phone chats and.
Romantic.
It was sweet. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look back on all those early years. I mean, those are all pre-kids, pre-marriage, and just figuring it out. And
did you think this is not going to work? The long distance thing. I had moments like that. I
was super greedy about when she got out, and we were engaged, and our wedding was scheduled to be not very long after she got out of school. And that was I saw in a weird way. I was like. And now that's over, and now it's my time. And that took some time to figure out because that was not a great strategy. You know what I mean?
Time for Ethan University.
Yeah, time to get your real masters.
Yeah. Edit.
Well, no, that's I stand by that.
Okay, you like that one.
PhD.
Yeah, she's a doctor.
So you moved out to LA. Adrian's already here.
Yeah.
Setting up Fort. To come and...
I came out to do a play in 2000 and we hung out a little bit.
That's right.
At that point, we reconnected and I met Betsy and that was awesome. And then when I moved out in 2002, he was honestly I called him from New York. I parted ways with my manager in New York, which was super uncomfortable experience and. Walking away from that conversation, I picked up the phone and called him and said, I'm moving out and we really are writing something. And he was like, okay.
All right. So were you guys still keeping in touch while he was in LA and you were in New York, or did you lose contact a little bit?
I'm terrible about keeping in touch with friends generally.
I'm pretty lousy myself.
I have a great memory of my phone ringing at about 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And it was Adrian and Ed leaving me a very drunk and long message that ended with Wenner be like, yeah, New Yorkie, and then hung up. A very fond memory of that. Just grinning asleep.
And I crashed with you.
That's right.
I weirdly tested for something in New York.
An acting thing?
Yeah, and they flew me out for a test.
Oh, wow. That's a big deal.
I wasn't there, man.
Oh, you weren't there.
I think I was at a funeral, not to make this weirder, but I think I had to take off. Yeah.
I think you were gone. But then I crashed with you again. I remember you being there once. But that was that was in the Hell's Kitchen place. That was the 40 whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. But it was before this was you think back, it's like we barely had email.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I had a phone number written down for you that probably changed, and then you're fucked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then you're like, well, I don't know who Sandler is anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's how it was.
Yeah.
People don't understand that.
No, yeah.
Well, you're going to have to explain this to your kids. They're really not going to understand that.
A little piece of paper with numbers on it, and if you lost that number, Peppers was gone.
It wasn't in the cloud?
No, it was gone. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Do you guys enjoy writing or acting more? Do you guys have a preference of either?
I think they both have their positives and negatives. It's fun to like do both, I think.
Do you like writing stuff and you're going, all right, I'm going to play this when we make it. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's probably the most fun we have.
Yeah.
When we can write for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because we've done a bunch of that, and I think that's always our passion thing. I'm not sure how many people want to watch us do it, but we definitely do it. We definitely. I mean, that's always my first priority.
Okay, acting.
Yeah, I mean, do writing for ourselves.
For ourselves. Okay.
I think that we have something fun to do together. But
the act of performing is a far more enjoyable thing than the act of writing for me.
It's kind of torturous to
write
and come up with something.
But the lifestyle, the like space between those moments for performing is so much less enjoyable than we are working right now on something like today. We're working and we haven't met and we're talking about it, and it's like, you know, it is you can do it all day every day, whereas performing, it's like it is an arrangement between yourself and at some kind of audience, you know, and so it's a more infrequent thing to do.
I also think that if you're just performing, you're at the mercy of like some really bad. It's hard to get up for just junk too. You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's more fun to do something you have some kind of control over and some say in it, rather than just like a bite and smile, or, you know, some joke that you're not a fan of. I don't know. So it's hard. I mean, it is fun to just not have to worry about that part too.
Yeah.
Ideally, you can kind of do both, but.
Yeah, but I agree. I feel like the act, like figuring out, as writers, figuring out like, what is this fucking scene and how do we, like, even if it is admittedly just not good, what you're working on, the act of working on it is still super fulfilling to me. Whereas I agree with you, the act of acting in something that's just terrible, surrounded by terrible people that are stupid, is more depressing than writing something with terrible people that are terrible and stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I just stumbled on the title of a book.
You will offend every single person in.
Does the writing, I mean, since you guys are also writers, does that help? Or even vice versa, does it help being actors help your writing and being writers?
I actually think, sorry to jump in, I actually think being actors helps writing more. I think actually being a writer can sometimes hurt performing.
Okay.
I think that there is a slight over intellectual, like I can get in my own way because I'm thinking about this from the outside rather than just being in it, doing my job, which is just to be this character in this situation, in this moment, truthfully and honestly and vulnerably, and, you know, reacting, not holding on to the writing of it because no, this has to be like this because that's in this scene. That's what this, you know, that's what we need right now.
Right, it builds to this.
You can be more improvisatory in the present, and whereas I think as a writer, having experience as an actor, knowing sort of like gives you a little bit of an advantage of knowing how that road can work and how transitions really could function here, and you know.
Yeah. You have two kids? You have one? How old are your kids?
Mine's 9, almost 10.
I have a 10 and a 7.
Okay. Do your kids play together, I assume?
They have, yes.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't go to the same school because they always pick up. They're a funny, especially our two sons are a funny team as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. Do you guys like imagine them in the future, like they're gonna epitaph the next generation?
when they were really little. I have a memory of them fucking on the beach. It'd be like, they're funny together.
Yeah, Hawaii. That was really funny.
Yeah.
But you know, it's hard when they're spend hours and hours at school and have their own life. I barely see my son now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's sad.
you know, maybe as they get older and, you know, start comparing notes on their stupid dads, they'll be in a help group together. It might help them.
You guys have collaborated a lot on a lot of things. I'll go through some of your. My Boys was developed by your wife, Betsy.
Yes, indeed.
She show ran that, right?
Yeah,
She was show running that.
Yeah.
She's show running Superior Donuts. Or
No,
she's
just writing, producing on it.
Writing and producing on Superior Donuts on CBS.
On CBS.
With her
Mondays.
pal David Koechner.
Yeah, exactly.
I assume each of you will be on that show at some point.
Superior Donuts. Yeah, maybe we'll get a call eventually.
When you do when you're working on New Girl or even My Boys or whatever, and you want to be in an episode, how does that work out? Do you go, I'd like to do that character?
I never really.
Did they ask you?
They asked you.
Yeah.
You were a juror or something.
Yeah, it generally organically happens. We just do
I just don't want to be that guy.
There's
they got enough worries.
Yeah.
Than to have some fucking episodes. Writer.
Of New Girl, you did 2 episodes, right?
No, I didn't do anything in New Girl.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, never mind.
I did My Boys, but it was the hilarious. I played a character literally named John.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
On My Boys, that because I was a writer, there's no need to keep that actor happy. I remember being in an elevator scene and going up to my wife and saying is it weird that I'm the only one not speaking in this? She was like, no, it's fine. Which you'd never do to another actor. So I made it a game of mine. I actually started a Facebook page called fans of the character John from My Boys.
How many followers is that?
Me, I think. I'm pretty sure it's me and
4 or 5. I think maybe Betsy finally wore her down.
Sweet.
Joined.
Babe, it's weird that you're not following fans of John.
How does it go working?
It's also weird because they don't. I mean, if you're on staff, that's a person out of the room.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be like, can I go figure out on set for 2 days? And they're like, well, no, we need you to write show.
It's bad form. I mean, it would be interesting to walk up to someone and be like, I'd love a chance to play this part, but they would not enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't think it's sort of. I mean, I'm sure people do it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Bad form.
They got enough to worry about.
What is it like when your wife is the showrunner of this and creator of this show and working basically for her?
We've always done it well. Yeah. Luckily we had the only time we've done is My Boys, which was a just glorious situation of
Whitney.
Oh right, we did Whitney too.
They do it great. They're great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say it, but I think we do okay. I've now been on a staff with another couple that's
they did great.
And they did great too.
Yeah.
But it
works.
But it is definitely a minefield. And Betsy's work is super autobiographical, and so she's but they're hilarious together and
I wouldn't say I get special treatment.
No, you will be sent home. I mean,
will be sent home.
Hey, someone's got to go home to do this, and then Adrian leaves like, someone's got to do that in my house too. Can I also? No, but I mean, that's the perk.
Yeah,
that's funny. Well, how's Whitney Cummings?
I haven't talked to her since then.
How was
she's
it
good.
working
She's on. She's very smart and very funny.
Yeah. Goddamn hilarious.
But she was doing that tough dive that Sandler was talking about a few minutes ago, which is, I mean, it's hard to be writing and
producing and in
it. That's a lot. I mean, when we did the pilot for our show, just getting a glimpse of it, I remember thinking when it was sort of maybe gonna go, this is gonna be a lot of work, and it's gonna be, you have to really kind of wear a lot of hats and
trust so many people.
And unless you have a really good team because you can't do it all. You physically can't do it all. And I think that she kind of ran aground on those rocks a little bit as far as what she was trying to pull off.
Yeah.
She was extremely ambitious.
Yeah. She was also producing 2 Bro Girls at the time.
Yeah. It was, and also what NBC did to her and splattered her on those billboards with that horrible ad campaign. It was she took some lumps in the press I thought were unfair. But
do you remember the end of Fight Club when he turns to her and says, "You met me at a weird time"?
Yeah.
I feel like Whitney. Yeah. I feel like we met Whitney at. I mean, she was in
She's
a war.
Norton.
Yeah. She was just like, every day was...
She has trust issues anyway, which I don't think she would.
Sure,
mind
we were
saying.
a giant staff of strangers,
Right.
and she was like, I want to do a really cool show like Louie. And we were like, yeah, but
You're on NBC.
this is an NBC multicam. And it's
An audience and stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So she was, that was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, but she was great. I learned a lot working with Whitney.
Yeah, I love her. She's hilarious. I'm gonna go down some of your credits. I'll start with Adrian. Is that okay?
Yeah, great. I think half of them on IMDb are wrong. But
Okay, you correct me.
You were set director on Godfather 3, yes?
That's right. That's right.
Well, that one's correct. Saved by the Bell, The New Class. You were an actor.
This is the first job I ever had out here.
Is that right?
I mean, acting job.
Yeah.
It was the first thing I ever auditioned for, and I got it. And I was like, this is fucking easy.
So this is it.
Kill this. And I played a nerd at space camp, and I was fully 8 years older than every single other person on that, except for Belding and Screech.
Yeah.
I watched it on television. I watched
That's
that.
a great story.
I was
randomly-
watching that show on my television,
Yeah.
and then there was Adrian doing a very funny physical bit with the table, and I was like, "Yep, everything's totally right in the world."
Were you just?
None of your business. None of your
happened to
business.
be
That doesn't matter.
watching
That
it?
doesn't matter. All that matters is that I was watching that, and there was Adrian. That's the story.
Okay, all right. I
By
apologize.
the new class.
You know that show was on for like 7 seasons.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I did not even know it existed.
That was
until
7 seasons?
It's like 6 or 7
Jesus.
seasons. Isn't that
You
crazy?
know, I ran into the woman who played the blonde. I'm blanking on her name. She's actually like a really good actress, and she's been in a ton of stuff. I met her randomly at a party. I was like, it took me like an hour to place her. I didn't bring it up.
Hey, remember me? I'm
Yeah.
the nerd.
Start moving a table around funny. Ring a bell.
What was Screech like? He's a weird dude. Did you
Yeah, I
interact with
steered
him?
clear of that
Yeah,
dude. I got a bad vibe off that guy pretty early.
He's still with us, right? He's still with us.
He's in
I
jail.
think he's in jail. I think he had troubles in Wisconsin or something.
Something he got in a fight.
Yeah,
I think there's
killed a guy maybe.
No, I don't think he
Or
killed. I
friend
think
of
he
his?
stabbed
Stabbed
somebody.
somebody.
Something weird. Something unscreech like. Because Screech would never do
If you
that.
come at the Screech, you gotta kill the Screech.
Screech don't take no shit.
You did a couple episodes of Becker.
I did.
The great Ted Danson.
That was amazing.
Love Ted
I
Danson.
learned a lot
Really?
doing that. Yeah,
What'd you learn?
he was a pro, man.
Yeah.
That was how to act in a sitcom. There's no one better at that.
Yeah. he
And
did. How many hundreds of episodes of Cheers did he do?
yeah, and Ink and
Mm-hmm.
God, and he actually, you know, who wrote the first one I was on was Matt Weiner of Mad Men fame.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. What's he like?
He's great. He's
Yeah.
always been great. He's been a great. We meet up and he still remembers that Becker.
No kidding.
He's always like, I know you from Becker.
Talented guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever see him again, say, so you set up a bunch of stuff in Mad Men. Will there be a point of... Will there ever be any closure for any of that stuff?
I'll throw it up the
Yeah,
flagpole.
throw that, see
Yeah.
what happens. Scrubs, you did an episode of Scrubs
Yeah.
with our buddy Neil Flynn.
Yeah.
The great
Yeah.
Neil Flynn.
Great Neil Flynn.
Love Neil Flynn. You also, one of the shorts that you guys did, I think it's
yeah.
Effed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Zach Braff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know him?
That was another
from-
thing we wrote for ourselves.
Okay.
We knew him from Northwestern. Sandler knows him better than.
Oh, Zach
I did.
Braff?
Just from college, yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
And our friend from college directed it.
And they're tighter.
They're tighter. He was
like-
really the one who got Zach involved.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
was nice to reconnect with him. I hadn't seen him since I did Scrubs or whatever.
Well, I mean,
8 years
he blew
before
up
or
when
whatever.
he became a big.
I know, and now he's got another show now.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Because he's directing.
He's directing
stuff?
and
Sure.
starring in this new one.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. For ABC.
Well, I got to meet him briefly.
You're welcome, Matt Tarsus, for the plug.
I got to meet him briefly because I kickstart backed his. I wish I was here.
Oh, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
And one of the perks was going to meet him, and he's nice.
He's
Nice
nice.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice
Delightful guy.
Yeah, good guy. My boys. Okay, you acted in 6 episodes of My Boys. That's
John, man.
Good old
Get to your
John.
Facebook right now.
Get on that and check it out, and check out the scene where I don't talk.
That's my favorite one. You did Mad Love with Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
2 episodes of that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
A couple episodes of that. So you've done a bunch of stuff. Do you get like busy, too busy to do auditions and stuff?
Yeah, I don't audition much anymore.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it with your girlfriend.
Yeah,
It's not, that's not my game.
Yeah.
I was not good at that.
I mean, you booked. You were good on
Those
some
were
level.
friends giving me gigs.
Oh, really?
I earned the Becker one.
You're in the Becker and Saved by the Bell. I would say
I fucking earned that.
you nailed it.
Nailed it.
And then Whitney, you were in 3 episodes of Whitney.
Me? No, I wasn't in.
Oh, I'm
Whitney.
sorry. I now skipped.
Were you in Whitney?
No?
I skipped to writing.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, now I'm
You
in
wrote
writing.
3 episodes of. That's right. Oh, and Mad Love. You weren't
Mad
in
Love. I wasn't in Mad Love.
You wrote 2 episodes. Sorry about
I
that.
was so titillated. I was like, after
Couldn't
saying,
even remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you know what? I was gonna be a flasher at the end, and I thought, never mind. It's a long story. I'm not even sure that aired.
And so what happens with New Girl? Zoe Deschanel got pregnant twice in the last 2 years.
Sure.
Yeah, one of them wasn't our problem because we shot around her.
Well, it was it was a situation, but it wasn't like. Oh, you mean the first child?
First time.
Yeah.
The first child, we weren't on it.
You weren't on yet.
They'd shot extras of season 3, so season 4 was a little bit shorter because they were trying to get a few in before she started showing. Then this year it was smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And we were just like giving her boxes to hold.
Aren't you forgetting a season? Didn't we do 5 and 6? Isn't this 7 that's coming up?
7's coming up.
5 and 6.
Yeah,
you're right.
that's all right. Not that it's important, but
You're
I mean,
right.
if you're going to tell a story, get your fucking seasons correct.
Fair criticism.
So wait, so they knew she was pregnant, so they were trying to shoot at extra hurry
Yeah,
up
they
and
shot
shoot
4
things?
more, I think.
They shot 4 more because they knew they'd have a longer break when she had maternity and all that. So they got 4 extra episodes in season 3, and then
season 5.
5.
And then coming out of 4, they did the first 4 episodes of 5, and then we came aboard and did the last 18, and then
Are they shown in order?
yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes we'll watch and we go, I think she's pregnant here, and then next thing you go, I don't think she's pregnant
Oh,
here.
you know what we did shoot out of order
This year.
this year.
This year.
We shot a little bit out of order.
You did?
Yeah.
That's interesting. My girlfriend came up with that. I was like, no, you're just seeing
No,
things.
she called it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be so
We shot
pleased.
the finale before she was, really behind tables and boxes and sitting down and stuff.
Right. Because that's fun.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Like sitting down with baggy dresses
Yeah,
and
yeah.
bags and coats in front of
Yeah, a lot of coats.
Right.
A lot of coats.
So how does she know that she's trying to get pregnant, or is it surprises?
In her personal life?
Yeah.
We don't know.
No.
I mean, does she come to you guys and go, hey, guess what?
Yeah, I think that's sort of how it came down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, okay.
All right.
Make
it work.
They were cool. Yeah, they worked around it.
Get Megan Fox back.
Yeah.
Stat. You're working on something called East-West. Is that true?
Oh, that was a movie we wrote.
Yeah.
A movie you wrote?
We did. We wrote a movie for Universal that was essentially a Meet the Parents that takes place in China.
Oh, okay.
We had the pleasure of working with Jason Weiner, who is a friend from college and also a Meow fellow. And that was just like old times. It literally was like we were kids again. It was really fun.
So it got made.
No, it's in the, you know what I mean? It's in the machine. Yeah.
It's in the machine.
I see. Very good. Okay, Ethan, I'm going to go to you. So Sex and the City. You did a Sex and the City episode?
I did do a Sex and the City, yeah.
As an actor?
Uh-huh.
How was that? Who'd you have scenes with?
I had scenes with Kristen Davis.
Oh, I love her.
Sure.
Was she okay?
She was delightful.
Yeah.
She the scene involved her slapping me, and at the camera blocking, she slapped me really hard in the face, and I liked it. I liked it. What? I just felt close to her, so she kept slapping me, and it was hilarious because I had never been on a set before. I never acted in front of a camera before, and I assumed that slaps would be fake, and they should have been, but
It certainly could have been.
Got your ass kicked by Kristen Davis.
But you liked it at least.
it was
You
fun.
learned something about yourself.
I did. I came face to face with myself. Yeah.
Princess Diaries.
Uh-huh.
You're in the Princess Diaries.
I'm a bus tour driver that I think actually in the film itself you can barely see me.
Okay. Did you get to meet Anne Hathaway or Julie Andrews or any of that?
No, I mean I saw young Anne Hathaway across a very crowded set, but I didn't. She was not yet Anne Hathaway. She was just. But I mean, I got to hang out with Gary Marshall. That was just awesome.
Ooh,
yeah,
Gary Marshall. What was that like?
It was. I mean, it was a dream. It was like, he was just incredible.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, Gary Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will and Grace, you did an episode.
I did.
They're bringing that back.
They are.
Maybe they'll bring you back.
Maybe they will. I was the
Johnny.
plastic surgeon. You know what I mean? The like Botox doctor.
Wow,
yeah.
you really did your research.
Botex. I think Botex is a.
You think of Kotex?
Yeah.
I went to space camp to prepare for
Saved by the
Saved by the Bell.
I injected a lot of people with stuff in preparation for my job at the Botox doctor.
Stray dogs.
Who'd you inject? Megan Mullally?
Dr. Mullally and also Eric McCormick. Yeah.
Okay, funny. How was that?
It was fucking nerve-wracking, man. I was shitting my pants. Sorry, I hit the table. I was shitting my pants the whole time. I mean, it's burrows, and and I had just gotten out here, so I was just so in over my head, and but I just loved it.
You're already on the biggest show.
It was so fun, yeah.
I got to meet Megan Mullally at Second City in L.A. one time. She was there seeing her brother-in-law on the sketch show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And she was in the lobby waiting, and I was interning at the time, and I was like, so how was the show? She was super nice, super cool, and I was surprised, like, very sexy.
Sure.
I have to say.
Yeah.
Very sexy.
Seems like a very healthy marriage.
Yeah, with Offerman. A Carol Christmas with Tori Spelling,
Oh, God.
William Shatner,
No, I'm in now.
Gary Coleman, and Dinah Manoff.
Yeah.
From Greece.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you get to act with any of those?
It was the first wildfire experience I had out here. We shot out like I must have been like out near Sunland or whatever that is, Tahunga maybe, and it smelled like ash, and it was 130 degrees, and we were all dressed for Christmas. And I was the dad who then at the end reads A Night Before Christmas, and felt very out of place. But everyone was cool. It was super fun.
Did you, Tori?
Yeah, delightful.
Did you just keep in touch with any of them?
Sure, Tori comes over every Passover.
Your name's on a little bit of paper. You just lost.
And then you were in Bourne Supremacy.
Yeah.
A great film.
Yeah.
With Matt Damon. You were, I remember you. I remember seeing the movie going, hey, there's Ethan.
Yeah.
I know him, kind of.
Yeah, fake typing furiously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess you were with Joan Allen? Was that,
yeah, right, exactly.
right? Is that right?
Yeah.
What's she like? What's she like on
She was just amazing. She was super, so smart and cool. And I remember asking her if she was doing theater anymore, and she was like, I'll never do another play.
Well, that's not true. I saw her in a play a couple of years ago.
She lied right to my face.
I'm a liar.
Why did she say that?
She said, I think she had just done a play a few years earlier that was just emotionally super draining, and was like, I just don't want to do the same thing. Repeat. I like doing it once, and then I can move on.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever you say, Joan.
That's film acting.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Or even better, improv. You do.
Yeah, literally do it once, and then
You should be like, hey, you want to be on my Herald team? Literally only do one.
You want to be Armando?
Joan Allen is doing improv would be really cool.
Yeah, I saw her at Steppenwolf a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Just
she's the best.
Amazing.
But how long did you do that for?
I guess a month, sort of off and on.
Where was that show?
Berlin.
Wow, you had to go to Berlin.
It was so great, yeah.
What was living there like?
It was crazy. I mean, we lived in an awesome hotel and ate like just horrible. I mean, I wasn't a vegetarian yet, so it was just downing sausages like morning, noon, and night. They'd have a soup every day, and it was so delicious. And I mean, weird German porn in the hotel. It was just awesome living. It was great.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And I guess Kathryn was out here while you're in Berlin.
Yeah.
Paul Greengrass, how was he?
He was a dream. He was hilarious. And
Really?
Yeah.
He's a funny guy?
Very funny guy. Very bright.
Oh, that's great. Okay, Crossing. This is an interesting one. So Crossing Jordan, you have 15 episodes.
Yeah.
But you have like multiple different characters.
Yeah.
Do you like different characters?
I did. I played 2, I think.
Just 2? Okay.
I think so.
Kept using you.
No,
Maybe
3.
they're
I have 3. I was 3 different characters.
3 different characters?
Yeah.
on that show? Jesus.
Yeah, Kathryn was on that show as
just
a
didn't give a
regular,
shit?
and so I was around.
Okay.
And
Did you
that's
put
when we
mustaches on you and wigs and
basically,
things?
yeah. I mean, we had just landed in LA, and I was like, and that was our social life, was that show, and
Right.
I just became friendly with them, and so I started off with something stupid and little, like a karaoke dude, and then they gave me something like a little beefier as like a guy who dies and then comes back as a ghost, and I just remember having to fake be dead on a slab, and the camera operator would be like, "Stop moving your eyes, stop moving your eyes, you're moving your eyes." Like it was like I'm trying to stop talking to me about it. And I'm like, it's hard to not to have your eyes stop fluttering. And then I played typical assistant district attorney Jewish fellow number 5 for a number of episodes. It was
bunch of episodes.
super fun.
That's so funny. The My Boys, you did an episode of Psych. New Girl, you did an episode. Transparent, you've done 5 episodes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who'd you get to work with on that?
Mostly with
Jeffrey.
Jay Duplass. I was his
Jay
his
Duplass.
boss.
Oh, that's cool. What's he like?
He's just incredibly cool and self-deprecating for someone that's as productive and smart as he is, and he's just a really great actor who just at that point had never acted, so that was really thrilling. He was always just pushing himself to be even more vulnerable and more that set is mind-blowing. She really, Jill Soloway really made something new. It's unlike anything I've ever been around.
And that shoots in New York?
No,
right?
shoots here.
Oh, I thought it shot in New York for some reason. And I guess you auditioned or you got offered? Or you
No, that's similarly Kathryn's on that show, and I knew Jill, and she. There was a second there where I was maybe gonna at least be in conversations to play Jay's part, play the brother. Not that I'm saying that was a likelihood, but so she was looking for something for me to be in it in some way, and that role came up. And
how many characters do you play in that?
I play 6 characters in
great.
one scene.
That's
You
amazing.
cannot see the transitions, but
That's amazing. Okay, and writing credits, you have My Boys, Whitney, Effed, No She Wasn't, New Girl, No Pay Nudity with Gabriel Byrne. Well, and that's a movie, right? How does that work? Like you just wrote a screenplay, you sell it. It's casting.
This was an old actor, an old friend of mine from a million years ago. Had a story that he wanted to write a movie about something and reached out to me. This was a million years ago.
Okay.
And we just worked on it repeatedly over the years, and it sort of died and came back to life a million times, and then eventually just got enough momentum and got made.
It's hard getting movies made these days, right?
Seemingly it's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You have to do like Zach Braff did crowdfunding and all that stuff. Okay, and then producing My Boys, Whitney, New Girl, and then you have a funny credit here, set decorator.
Yes, that is our mutual friends did a short in Kathryn and my house, and as a thanks, they gave us the credit. We both are credited as set decorators on that short.
Brilliant.
I see that in a lot of these credits, Brian Gaddis is attached to a lot of these things.
Sure. That Gaddis actually is who made this film that I'm mentioning. Yeah.
Are you guys pretty close with Brian?
Yeah.
Contractually, Ethan has to put Gaddis in everything he does.
I literally can't. He has something on me that I'm not really free to discuss. And
PP tape.
PP tape? Probably. It's okay.
I spent time in Berlin, I said.
All comes around. All comes around. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Thank you for having us.
I had Scott Adson in here recently.
The one and only.
Genius.
And I told him one of the best improv shows I've ever seen was with him and you, Adrian. And it was just the two of you.
Oh, I remember that.
Balls, no balls.
Yeah, balls, no balls when Kraft didn't come.
Yep. Nobody was there. Nobody showed up.
Yeah, and, including the audience.
Yeah, except for me. Except I was there and maybe like 5 other people or something.
That was that was a really fun hour or whatever we did. That was a long time.
It was kind of early on in my LA improv days and just like going to every show and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm looking around like, there's nobody fucking here. And you guys just show up and you're like, I guess we'll do a show. There's no one here and there's just 2 of us. And it was like one of the greatest shows I've ever seen.
Thanks, man.
It was so good. It was so high energy. They played a million characters. He remembered some specifics of like you were a sniper or something.
Oh, that's right.
In a bell tower or something like that. And then I was starting to remember like you guys running up fake stairs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. God. So good. You guys improvise anymore?
Every now and then if I get a call from a friend, but for the most part, it's like, I don't know, it's hard to go on stage at 9 and...
I know.
.
I'm in bed at 10 o'clock.
I'm telling you.
I don't even have kids.
I know.
I do a lot of bitch with my son.
Yeah.
We do a
Does
lot
that count?
No,
I
you
guess
do
I
that.
think
it counts.
No, we do that.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Thanks a lot for
man.
coming. You guys want to plug anything? Twitters, Instagrams, websites?
Just check out my GoFundMe page for Adrian challenging our sitting president for a game of golf for $10 million or to get out of office.
Yeah, I feel like we both have... Sandler's Instagram is pretty solid. You should check that out.
Thanks, man.
All right, cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much for coming.
Awesome.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks.
And we'll go watch the new or the Matt LeBlanc show.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it called?
Man with a Plan.
Man with a Plan.
I don't think we have a time.
New Adventures of Old Matt LeBlanc.
Adventures of Old New Girl.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
There you go, folks. That was my talk with Ethan Sandler and Adrian Wenner. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on my show. I really appreciate it. Had a great time talking with you guys. So go check out what they're up to. One more time for my plugs. Twitter at EJ Scott and at EJ Podcast. Instagram EJ Scott 1106. Website ejscott.com. Running Blind documentary on iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play for only $2 or $3. Well worth it. I also raise money for charity. You can go to crowdrise.com/7on7. Lots of great charities to choose from to donate to. Please do. And that's pretty much it. You can check out my past podcasts. I recommend that you do. Got a big library now of past guests and episodes. So check out my past episodes, please. And my future ones. Go subscribe on iTunes to scratch the surface. And I am on iHeartRadio now. So if you prefer iHeartRadio, you can find me there. So there you go, folks. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.